you actually know what is a cloud stack? When we say cloud stack, do you know what I'm even talking about? If you do, drop a 1. If you don't, say WTF or 2. I don't have a clue. So we got a mix of people. We got a lot of people that don't have a clue. And then we got some people that do have a clue. So just, let's see. Okay. All right. So you can go ahead and share your screen and everything, Jay. If you will, Jesper, I got it set up and I'll take control of anybody coming in and stuff, but it's all yours, buddy.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let me just share my screen here. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
All right, all right, all right. So thank you for having me today. Let me just open the chat window if I can find it so I can see questions. 2 seconds. Why can't I see the chat window? It's hidden somewhere. Ah, here it is. Okay. So I'll keep the chat window open so I can see if there comes any questions. Okay, so today we're going to talk about cloud stacking and cloud HTML pages that we can upload to Amazon S3, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure, and probably a lot of other cloud services also. The one I'm using mainly is Amazon S3, but I'm also using Google Cloud and Microsoft Azure. But to start from the beginning, I'm always on the lookout for new exciting possibilities to build do-follow backlinks. And because we can use do-follow backlinks to, of course, to rank our properties, be it local properties or our money site, whatever. So a couple of years ago, I stumbled upon this technique, and you can actually, it turns out that you can actually, 2 seconds, let me just log out of Discord. It keeps on popping up. 2 seconds. Log out. Let me see here. Well, a couple of years ago, I stumbled upon this technique where it's possible to build these do-follow backlinks on Amazon. And you all probably, most of you have been building these do-follow backlinks yourself, not on Amazon, but on many other properties. And the advantage of building HTML pages on Amazon and Google Cloud and Microsoft Azure is that these cloud services, they are inherently very strong, and they have the power to rank themselves in Google, and they have the power to boost your properties also. So let me show you a couple of examples. So I am Danish, so I'm sorry, but the search terms I'm going to show you are Danish search terms. But I made a test last year for, you know, when you die and you're going to have a funeral. I think that the name for the guy that's performing the funeral is called the undertaker. And in Danish, it's bedemand. So I made this test where I have the keyword is called undertaker, then price, and then Roskilde. That's the name of the city I lived in last year. So undertaker, price, Roskilde. So if I scroll down here, I can see down here that this page here is ranking number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is a test page that I made on Amazon S3. You can check out, if you haven't seen this before, you can see that this is a very strange URL. It's not your normal www.domainname.com. So this is a very special domain name. You can see that the root domain domain name is amazonavs.com. And then there's some other things, in front of the domain name. So how come this web page is ranking so well? Because when you're performing a funeral in Denmark, the typical price for a funeral is somewhere between, let's say, $5,000 to $10,000 US dollars. That's the typical price of a funeral in Denmark. So it's a high ticket service. So and it's not something that you can not pay. I mean, if you have some relatives that die, you have to bury them, of course. So it's a relatively high competition market, but this page is ranking, and I didn't build one single backlink to this page, 0 backlinks. After I built it, I uploaded it to Amazon, then I added it to Google Search Console, and within 30 minutes, 1 hour, it was ranking. And I even have for some of the keywords that I have, these are some of the keywords that I added to the page. I even have featured snippets. So now let's inspect the power of this site. So as always, I use this plugin called Mangools, show data for exact URL. So it's actually strange because it has a domain authority of 1, a page authority of 1, but still it's ranking. So what can I say? It's just very powerful. So these numbers, the domain authority and the page authority, and citation flow and trust flow, that's, again, we should remember that's not something that Google is using. These are just numbers that are provided by data providers. I think this is from Majestic or Moz. This is from Majestic, and this is probably from Moz, these 2 numbers. But something interesting can be seen if I'm going to show you a trick here, because when I uploaded this file, I named it index.html. It doesn't really matter what I name it, but I just named it index.html. But I discovered that if I do this trick, let me show you here. If I copy this and delete it and put it over here, I get the same page, only with the different domain name now, because now it's not Billman/Roskilde.s3. blah blah blah. Now the part to the left of this domain is much shorter, and what this means for the domain strength is that it's actually much more powerful. Instead of 1.1, now it's 70.33. So that's just something to think about. So what this means is that if you're going to, I'm going to show you how to build this page in a couple of minutes. But what this shows you, or what this tells you, is that if you're going to use this for link building purposes, then what you want to do is you want to build links to this version of the URL. So keep in mind there are 2 versions of the URL. The version that's native, that comes from Amazon when you build it, and the version where you perform the trick that I just showed you. I'm coming out with a training on this in 2 days, and you can check it out on my website. And I'm going to talk about this in more detail in the training, of course. So I think that I want to show you another example. Yeah, I want to show you another example. So again, a Danish word. I'm sorry for that. This is Roskilde, again, the city I lived in. And SEO, you know what that is. And bureau that's the same as agency. So I made a couple of tests to see how could I rank for SEO agency in my hometown. So if I search for this term, of course, my website is number 1. Then my HTML page that I own is number 2. Competitor number 3. Google Docs I made number 4. Google Sites 5. My portfolio also means 6. Amazon number 7. My .business site 8. Foursquare, also a citation I made for myself, number 9. So what's interesting is that for this search term, you can see that the Windows, the Microsoft Azure version of my HTML page is ranking above the Amazon page. So if I click on this one here, click on this one. So this is also an HTML page that I made myself. It looks like a normal web page, a normal WordPress website, but it is not. It's built in it's hand-built HTML. So this is quite an advanced version of an HTML page, and this is built for a specific purpose. You can notice that there's these this Google My Maps that you probably know of, a lot of links, and also these links are pointing to the CID version of my Google My Business profile. And I have embedded a lot of, Twitter moments, etc., etc. I'll also go over this in the training, why I do it like this. But what you can notice is that this headline up here, that's a link. And I can inspect it, and I can see that it's a do follow backlink. Can you see this? It's a do follow backlink. And it's an anchor text do follow backlink. So the text of the link is SEO Denmark, as you can read the text. And then I have formatted this page as a citation. So I have the keyword I want to rank for, then I have the address and the phone number, and then appointments, and then that links to the website. So I made this in a special way because if I click up here, let me open it in a new tab. I open the Amazon version. And if I click on here, I open the Google Cloud version. Now the Amazon version is the one that I made to be the most elaborate version, because you can see all these menu items up here. And that's just, I'm testing all the time. So I'm testing how does it work? Does it work? Does it boost? And it does boost. How are you inspecting that link to know that it is do follow? I'm using a Google Chrome extension, and I think it's called no follow. That's actually strange because I'm testing for do follow, but it's called no follow. Yeah. So the thing is that you need to know is that Windows.net, Amazon AWS, and Google Cloud or Google APIs.com, these three guys, they have different strengths, different ranking power also. And it varies all the time which of those are the strongest. But for now, it's actually Microsoft Azure, also Windows.net. It's the same thing. This is the guy that's actually the strongest now. But Amazon is still strong, and Google Cloud is also strong. But Microsoft Azure #1, Amazon #2, and Google Cloud #3 in ranking power. Okay, so let me just check how powerful this is. It has domain authority 92, page authority 44, so not bad. So what you want to start to do is you want to go to Google and you want to search, like I do now, Amazon S3 Cloud Storage. You want to go down here, you want to click here, and then you want to get started with Amazon S3. I'm not going to go through the sign up process now because you can do that. And if you're feeling uncertain on how to sign up, there are plenty of YouTube videos for this that shows you exactly what you are going to do. But so you sign up for this account with Amazon S3, and the good thing about Amazon S3 is that you get 5 GB of S3 standard storage for 12 months with the AWS free tier. What this means is that you can build thousands of HTML websites for free. I've had this for a couple of years. I haven't paid a single dollar yet, not one single dollar. In your new course, will you also show how to do for Microsoft Azure? Yes, I will, Patrick. So for free, you get 5 GB of S3 storage. So yeah, let's just do that to get started. So now I want to ask you something. I will need a test person. So I will now show you how to build a powerful do-for backlink, and I will do that in, let's say, 15 minutes. So I'll need a test person with the local website and a YouTube, and the site should have a YouTube video also. So first one types in the chat, keyword and YouTube video URL, gets the web page. I'm looking. Tattoo removal. And do you have a YouTube video? Yes, and what is the URL for the YouTube video? I'm waiting. Bambi, what's the city name for your for the website? Are you there?
Yeah, they're getting the link for you, Bambi.
They're getting the link. Okay. So so this HTML template is something I had my Danish developer friend create for me, because I know HTML, but I'm not super duper black belt in HTML. So, but I also am going to show you now, and also in my SEO course, is that you can do like this: free HTML template. So if you search for free HTML template, you get a lot of websites where you can actually just download, a web page for free. Thank you, Bambi. I'll just copy that. 2 seconds, switch. What's the name of the web page that you want to target? Inya Cosmetic Skin Clinic, and what's their web page URL? Okay, got it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it's probably, I don't know why it can't copy. So what I start to do is I start to search on Google for free HTML template. Then I can go into freecss.com. I'll click there. And you have here 3,274 free website templates. So I checked out a couple of these templates before coming on today, because many of you will have YouTube videos that you will want to embed. And it's not all of these templates that actually support that. But I found a template that does. And let me just download it. Here it is. View this free template. So now the template looks like this. The website looks like this. So as you can see, it's kind of like, a real life website. So let me just download it. And then I'm going to open it. Let me just delete this guy here. And it's called Corso Free Website Template. So I'm extracting the files. And I'm going into this folder. And I'm just clicking here. So now now I can see the web page, and it's now open on my computer. So I'm just inspecting the file. So you'll need a couple of programs installed on your computer. And the first program you'll need to install is something called Sublime Text. Sublime Text is a free HTML editor, and I prefer this because I use it both to edit HTML files and also my schema files. So I'll click File, Open File, Downloads, make sure I have the correct one, Web, Index, yes. So this is what an HTML file looks like. So when you're making these web pages on Amazon, I will probably have to admit that this is probably not for beginners. It's intermediate to advanced, but once you get used to it, once you have done it 2 times, it's not a big deal. It looks extremely scary when you look at all this code. Let's see here. Is that again a US versus the rest of the English-speaking folks? Okay, but this is the code, and this is the web page, SEO training course. So let's search for SEO training course. SEO. Here it is, and it's in H1. So let's just write tattoo removal. Tattoo removal. Is it? Yeah, it's probably tattoo removal. I hope I spelled it correctly. Let's see. Tattoo removal, yes. With two O's. Okay, yes, got it. This offer has expired. You know what? We could make this a link to the web page. So this is the web page. Let's do it like this. And now I'm just writing some HTML code. And what I'm writing manually is the code for a link. hrefs is equal to. Let's see if I have done it correctly. Yes, because you can see that it's a link now, and if I click, I go over to eniacosmeticsskinclinic.com.au. So now I want to go down here, and if I click here, I open some random YouTube video, but I will just go over to my node file, my notepad, copy. And I'll search for YouTube to find the place, the HTML file. And I must admit, I did rehearse this once before I came on the show. So that's the reason that I know exactly what to do, of course. So if I click here, now I see the correct YouTube video. And yeah, I know I make this look easy, I know. I'll need a background image here, and I could do like this. Let me show you what I could do. I could search for tattoo removal. And then I could click on image. And then I could download some of these images. But the problem in doing that is that these are not my images, and these are not your images. So if someone finds out, that's not good. So what I do for this kind of for these kind of websites is I purchased on AppSumo a subscription, or I think I purchased 500 credits for deposit photos. Yeah, okay. I see what you're writing, Bambi. I'm just searching here. Tattoo removal. I'm just showing you my process because this is what I'm doing, because in deposit photos, they have a lot of high resolution, high quality images. It's not free, but it's but you have the right to use these images. So I can check this out, I can download it, and it's downloading, and it has been downloaded now. And let me just open my download folder. Here the image is. What was the name of the image? It was 99958 something. So what I'll just do is I'll drag this over to the images folder. And now it's in here. And then I'll copy this. I just copied the image file name, and then I'll go over here and I will insert the image file name here. And let's see what happens if I can do some magic. Voila. Isn't that just easy? So I click here, and it's also the correct video. So this is exactly how easy it is. Let me just copy this here. The reason I'm taking this text and copying it over to Notepad is because if I'm copying text from an HTML web page and inserting it into another HTML web page, I'm copying hidden code. So I'm always copying text over to Notepad, copying the Notepad text, and over here. So what I want to do now is I want to insert some correct text up here. So let me just check. It says tattoo removal. Yeah, here it is. Rich. Yes. Let's see how it looks like. Yep. And this, I'm not going to do anything about that now. Okay, so now, of course, this is not done yet. It's not finished at all, but time is running, and I promised you to be finished before 15 minutes has passed. So what I will do now is I'll go over to a program called S3 browser, because once you have finished creating your account here on Amazon S3, you get in and you log into an extremely advanced backend. But I searched on Google and I found that there's this program called S3 browser that allows me to search or to browse, on my Amazon S3 storage. So what you're looking at here, all these file names here, that's actually buckets, or that's actually folders on my storage on Amazon S3. So what I do now, and you'll just have to take my word for it, what I'll do now is I'll need to create a new bucket. A new bucket, that's just another name for a folder. I have no idea why they named it bucket, but that's just what they call it. So I'll create a new bucket, and I will call it tattoo removal. Because if I call it tattoo removal, I will have the keywords in the URL, kind of like
some people are asking a couple of things. For example, can you use a lead stat form? Pretty much as long as it's HTML and as long as it's code, you can use it. Same thing with the map embeds. You can do a map embed with the keyword insertions the same way we teach in class, because it's HTML code. It's just purely HTML code. As long as it's HTML code, you can do it. Yeah, Jasper can tell me I'm, full of crap or whatever, or if I'm wrong, but pretty sure as long as it's code, we can use it. I mean, we do it all the time. So
yeah,
So
yeah, what you're you're totally correct, William. You can do anything with this. And that's actually what I have done here, because I have, let me just go down here. I have inserted the my maps with the do follow backlink that that you probably know how to create.
And the
So
whole point with the cloud stacks is you can stack so much, different apps, assets with it, maps, iframes, and my maps, and every other thing under the sun. So, and it powers them up. You don't want just simple, let me just throw up like 2 paragraphs or whatever. You want to stack it as much as possible, driving directions, all of that stuff. And we do,
exactly.
like for our clients, we do cloud stacks every month for every one of our clients. They all
Okay,
get them.
yeah. It's exactly, and it's very powerful. So this
Very powerful.
this cloud stack that I've made for my company, that's actually a company page cloud stack. So it's formatted in a different way, because on my company cloud stack page, I have, the my maps with the driving directions. Then I have embedded a lot of Twitter moments. You can see these here, they are embedded Twitter moments. And then I've embedded my web page and my Twitter profile and my, I don't know what that is. It also looks like Twitter. Let me scroll up. The business website I've also embedded. I can see some other citations I've embedded, and my Google stack I embedded that also. And then I made links to all my citations, and I also included the citations in the schema code, the local business schema, to power up the citations also that way, and also to bind everything together. So yeah. Do you show how to embed using iframe? Yes, I show that in the new course. Okay, so let me just continue, because we are almost done. It's unbelievable, but we are almost done. So I'm in the middle of creating a new bucket, or a new folder, as we could also call it. And I'll not go into why, but you have a lot of different options, bucket regions or storage regions. These regions are actually data centers from Amazon. So I can choose US East and North Virginia, and it will be reflected in the URL up here. You can see where I'm marking with my mouse up here, EU/West/2, because that's a data center that's actually located in the European Union. So technical detail. So I'll create new buckets. I'll just choose this guy here. Okay, yeah, that's a good thing that we saw this. It says server response bucket already exists. The requested bucket name is not available. The bucket namespace is shared by all users in the system. Please select a different name and try again. And it says that because bucket names are unique globally. So it's kind of like a domain name. So if I type SEO, for example, for sure this will be taken. Yes, this is of course taken, because bucket names are unique, and they are unique because that's just how the way the system is created. So if I want to have tattoo removal in my URL, I would need to include something more like, let me just check here. Cosmetic. I'll take this. Yeah, it took that. Okay. So now I have, what is it? Tattoo removal cosmetic. So what I am doing now, and this is the final part, is first I'm making this public. And then I'm copying my files. Here. I'm copying all these files over to this folder here. Good. Let's see what's happened. What's happening? Is anything happening? No, nothing's happening. Yeah, there it was. Let me just do like this. I'm making the public. Apply changes, reload. So I'm right clicking on this guy here, generate web URL. So this is now the web URL to the web page I just made. Let's hope it works. It doesn't. Something always goes wrong. You just know it. Let me make it public. Reload. Refresh perhaps. No. What am I doing wrong, William?
Let me see.
Yep, got it. Here it is. So now this is live on the internet now. So tattoo/removal/cosmetic dot the thing that's now live on the internet. So let me just check here. So I don't know why it's not showing, but this is a do follow backlink and it's called tattoo removal and it's for India's cosmetic skincare microblading, this thing. And down here, it's their image and their YouTube video. It's not their image, but it's their YouTube video that's embedded with an iframe here. So let's inspect the numbers here. So let's see what it says. Okay, so this is interesting. So out of the box, this web page has a domain authority of 63 and it has a page authority of 34. So it took me more than 15 minutes. It took me 30 hours, but I'm also talking and I'm, showing at the same time. But the first time that you're doing this, it will probably take an hour or something like that. But the second time that you're doing it, it will take 15 minutes. The third time that you're doing it, it will take 10 or 5 minutes. And so let's say you have a virtual assistant. So within, let me just check out the chat if people are asking questions. Are people asking questions here? Okay, so within 10 to 15 minutes, you can make, or your virtual assistant can make a web page that has a domain authority of 63 and a page authority of 34. So imagine that. Let's say you have a virtual assistant that works for you for 2 hours. This person can then create 6 to 8 web pages with do follow backlinks pointing to your web page, your money page. This is of course much cheaper than if you're purchasing links from me or PBN links or something like that. So yeah, so that's just that DA is for the URL with the keyword in the beginning there. Yeah, let's see what happens if we move this. Let's perform the URL trick on this one. Let's see what happens. Doesn't seem it changed for this guy. Did it change? I don't think it changed actually. If it did change, if anything, the domain authority is a little bit. Let's see here. Change it back again. No, it's the exact same numbers for this guy. So what I did was I tested when you're creating new buckets. So I tested all of these guys here to find the strongest server, because the different servers actually have different domain names, because the name of the data center is actually embedded inside of the domain name up here. And I must admit, I cannot remember which one is the strongest, but when you're creating your own Amazon S3 account, you can do the test yourself. Just create 15 different buckets, and then you can just find out very quickly which one is the strongest. But this one is strong enough, because 6334, that's extremely powerful, I think. So so what I do is that I add these guys to Google Search Console, and then I run an indexing service to them, or I build some links to them. Because what you have here is you have your money site, and let's make that green. Edit node style. No. Edit node. No. Okay, let's not make it green. Then you have an Amazon S3 page. And then you have PBN link, for example. You have Twitter moment. For example, you have GSA or scrape box or money robots, something like that. So what you could do is that you could point these kinds of links, could you point to that guy, or you could point PBN links to that guy. Twitter moments, I point them directly to the money page, and then I embed them in the Amazon S3 page. And you could also do that. What you could do is you can create one high quality Amazon S3 page. And with high quality, I mean, you create a very good text. I actually did it for this guy. So what I did was I went to Quora, I think it's called, with the questions and answers. I went to Quora to search for questions with regards to funeral services. And then I rewrote the text, and I translated it to Danish, of course. I rewrote the text. So I think that this page has something in the neighborhood of 1,500 words, and it's unique text. So you make one page with 1,500 words, unique, good quality content, text. And then what you do is you make Amazon S3 page 2. Then you make this page and you point it to that page. So this is actually a cloud stack, because the meaning of the word stack is that you have several identical pages or properties that are linking to each other. So the S3 page here is linking to this S3 page, and that's linking to the money page. So I would never run GSA or Scrapebox or Money Robot links directly to my money page. Never in my life. PBN links, I could do that, but I could also point them to this guy and then go to this guy. And Twitter moments and Tumblr posts and all the other kinds of links, no problem in pointing them to the money page. So so what I suggest you do is that for local, what I'm doing is for every city keyword landing page, I'm running a Twitter moment, a Tumblr post, Google My Business post, YouTube, SEO video, and an Amazon S3 page also optimized for local. And when I'm saying optimized for local, I mean, now tattoo removal is of course not local, but it could be tattoo removal and then the city name of this clinic, let me check out where they are living about. They are living in O'Connor. I guess that's the city name, O'Connor, ACT. So tattoo removal, O'Connor, ACT would be the link. It would be in the H1 and would link directly to the tattoo removal O'Connor, ACT city page. So I hope it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, then please feel free to ask questions. S3 Chrome extension, S3 bucket. I had one years ago and it quit working. I don't know what that is, Greg. How do you add them to GSC? I use the HTML trick. I don't know if you know that, but when you're adding properties to Google Search Console, you have several options of adding them. And one of them is downloading an HTML file and then uploading that. So that's what I'm doing. I'm downloading the HTML file and uploading that into the bucket, because that will allow you to add them there. And as you probably know by now, currently there's some, I don't know if it's problems, I don't know if it's technical issues with Google, but things are not indexing currently as well. So I can't promise you that your HTML files on Amazon will index rapidly, because that's out of my hands. Previously, they indexed within 30 minutes to 2 hours, but probably not at the moment. What is your S3 extension? I don't know what you mean, because I don't have an extension. I have a Windows application called S3 browser. S3 browser, that's what it's called. Let me just check here on Google. S3 browser, s3browser.com. This is the guy, that's the guy I'm using. Do you use the same Gmail account to add all these HTML cloud pages to Google Search Console, or different Gmail accounts? That depends, because that depends. Yeah, it depends. I'm not scared of using the same Google Search Console account for multiple clients or multiple pages. So yeah, that's not something that's scaring me. So William, I think I don't know if you're here, still here, William.
No, I'm definitely here.
Okay, so
in your Jesper has he actually has a course where he goes over all of this as well.
Yeah.
But I had a couple of questions for you, so you do Amazon. Are you doing any of the other ones like Azure or any of the other ones that we do?
Yeah, not regularly, but for my own company, I actually did that because I made a special version. So what you're looking at here is a special version of a HTML page. So this particular website, this is optimized for my company. This is not something that I'm building for local. I'm only building this once for my company and for my clients. And what I have done is I have actually, if I hover my mouse up here, you see it says Google Cloud, right? And you can check out the link URL in the lower left corner. It says storage.googleapi.com. So what I did was, when I click up here, we'll notice that the URL has changed. So now we're actually over on Google Cloud. So what I did with this guy is I can show you here. I actually did that. I made a Google Cloud page, and then I did a Microsoft Azure. Then I linked them like this. So I took the company information that I inserted to Amazon S3 page, and then I copy it over to Google Cloud page, and I copy it over to the Microsoft Azure page to capture more positions on page one, and also to get the boost of the backlinks. And what that resulted in was, and let me show you here, that had the effect that when I'm searching for this keywords, this is the Microsoft Azure page, and this is the Amazon page, and I don't know where the Google Cloud page is. I actually don't know where it is. Tumblr, almost all these are mine. Yeah, Google Cloud is not so strong as the other guys. So I hope that answers your question, William. For normal client local SEO, I'm only using Amazon S3. But for this particular company page, I will be using both Google Cloud, Amazon S3, and Microsoft Azure. And the reason I'm normally only using Amazon S3 is because this is a manual process and it takes a lot of time, and there's a lot of room for errors here. So if you stick to Amazon S3, because you're doing this in hand, so if you're sticking to Amazon S3, you minimize the risk of errors, and it's probably more possible for you to fine-tune the process with a VA. And
Yeah,
for
we're doing them for across the board. We have about 5 or 6 sites that we do them on, but then again, we also have the VA, we have a whole department. That's all they fucking do. So
yeah, okay. So I'm I don't have any VA, so I'm doing everything in hand, and I'm doing everything myself. So there is a limit to how much I can actually do. So yeah, but if you have VAs, it's super duper. There's nothing wrong with this, and I've made a very extensive, extremely detailed SOP for this process. So I've written down for you exactly how to do this. And one thing I didn't mention is that, let me just do like this, Web 2. I have tested a lot of Web 2 properties, and that's actually also included in this cloud stacking course, because these Web 2 properties, they play very well together with this Amazon S3 page. So I have a list of, I think it's 15 or 20 citations, do follow links, do follow pages that I recommend that you make for all your clients. And that's also included in the course. And one last thing is schema. So I have, of course, my own very advanced schema templates that you have, William. But for normal people, that's not schema black belts. What I would suggest that you do is that you go to Google and you search for automatic schema generator. And when you do that, you come to this website called technicalseo.com. And technicalseo.com, they have a schema builder. So you just click up here and you want to create a local business schema. And you want to create an automotive business, for example, auto body shop. Then my auto shop. And over here to the right, you can see that's already here, the schema has been created automatically. So when you type something in here, you can see that this auto populates. This is much more easy than writing everything in hand. Sometimes I do, even if I have very advanced schema templates, I also sometimes do this in hand, because it's faster to do this sometimes. So let me go back here. Where each site is in its own bucket. Well, a bucket can hold more than one site, because let me go over here. So tattoo removal cosmetic, for example, I can make a new folder inside here. I could have created a folder called tattoo removal, create new folder. And then I could actually drag and drop everything in here. I don't know why it's not doing it, but I think that I think you get the point. Inside of the bucket, you can create countless of folders and folder names. So you inside of the tattoo removal folder, you can have city folder names. So how come you don't link it directly to the money page? I did. This link is directly to the money page. So I don't know what you mean. You'll have to ask again. It's been a while since I built S3 site, but they do index fast and can rank. Yes, they do. Do you need to use a VPS for the VA to do the Amazon S3? No. Or any special proxy VPN? No. If you want to sign up for his cloud stack, go there. Schema black belt, that's funny. Yes. Yes, there's an 8-degree schema black belt with MS2. They will have a match to see who's king of schema. I will not like that. He will probably win. I actually trained karate in my youth, so I am a proper black belt. It's just been 20 years ago since I was training last time. I probably don't remember anything now. So yeah, William, I don't have anything else now on the plates. So if any of you guys don't have any more questions, I think, do we get your HTML template for local site? Yes, you get this template, and then you get a local template. I'll create a local optimized template for you. And actually inside of this template, let me just inspect the source code. You can see how much schema I inserted here. I think I want to show you something. No, it was not in here. So one of my templates, I identified all the places inside of the divs that you can insert keywords. So you can really super duper keyword optimize my template if you really want to do it. William is gone. Do you insert schema into an HTML site? Yes, I do. You can see here if I right click and view source code, you can see all of this here. This is schema and it stops there. And I think this is, I don't remember. I think I made it in hand at that time. I don't think I auto created it. So, yep. No more questions? It doesn't seem so. How are you monitoring these? Dan, what do you mean with monitoring? I'm not checking rankings if that's what you mean. Once I create the monetizing, oh yeah, I'm not monetizing these. I'm not. What I do for a living is I do client SEO, and I do rank and rent or pay per lead in Denmark, and then I do a little bit of teaching, making SEO courses like the one I'm doing now. So these guys I'm not monetizing, but you could monetize them, of course. You could just insert affiliate links to products. What was this schema generation URL? Was technical SEO. And thank you, Patrick. And you're welcome. Any more questions? You're welcome, Nick. It seems no more questions. So an hour has passed now, guys. So I'll say thank you for tonight. You well to your stuff. I think my website is jespernissen.com. You can check it out there. Thanks a lot. Love to see you. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'll come back another time. probably after Christmas. No problem. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.